Good day, everyone. Welcome to KCAT News. I'm Austin Funnenstill, and thanks for joining us. We have a lot to cover this week, from allowing the students a little more freedom to having once-in-a-lifetime experiences, going to the usual back-to-school events, the option to join a fun tournament while giving back to the community, and an in-depth review of sports this week. We will get the inside scoop of all the latest events happening at Mulvane High School these past couple of weeks. Our first story today is about finally allowing students at Mulvane High to do something they've never done before: pick their own lockers. In past years, the lockers have been assigned alphabetically, but this year, students who showed up between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. during open house on the night of Thursday, August 11th, were given the opportunity to meet up with their friends and pick lockers next to each other. Senior Vice President of Student Council, Anna Merchant, proposed the idea in April to Student Council sponsor, Mrs. Denise Woods, saying she has always wanted to pick out her own locker. After working out the details for this plan, Woods went to Dr. Jay Inslee, who eventually approved this idea. Picking out lockers seems to have received positive feedback from the students. KCAT reporter Bryn Cole is with us now to see how students and teachers feel about it. Bryn?
Hi, I'm Bryn Cole, and this is the first year at MHS that we got to pick our lockers. Let's go ask some students and teachers their opinion on it.
I think it's pretty good because last year I didn't get to pick my locker, but it was still close to practically all my classes.
I thought picking our lockers was great this year because now I don't have to hurt my knees when I go down to my bottom locker.
I think it was really cool because I have a friend that's like 6 foot and she had a bottom locker last year, and she couldn't get to it because she was so tall. So
I got a locker I wanted. I got a top locker. That's mainly what I wanted. And
I think it's kind of different because we're not by the same people as we were last year, in middle school, because it was alphabetical order.
I thought it went really well. We had a lot of students here for back to school night, and so far it seems like kids are really enjoying it. So I think it was a success. I like it. I think having people come, so many people coming to back to school night, makes a huge difference. I think it started the school year off really positively. So if we can keep doing that, I'm in full support of it.
As far as I'm concerned, I felt like it's been a success so far. I think the determining factor is going to be you, the students, as to whether or not this works.
Sounds like most students were glad to pick their own lockers this year. I'm Bryn Cole, KCAT News.
Thank you, Bryn. As a reminder, students, the lockers you picked is permanent for the rest of the year. Switching lockers is not allowed. On Monday, August 21st, the students of Mulvane High School were given the rare opportunity to observe the Great American Eclipse. The eclipse reached its peak at 93% totality around 1:04 p.m. in Mulvane, with the best view of the eclipse occurring closest near the Kansas City area. Students were given a free pair of NASA-approved solar eclipse glasses during an assembly during advisory that day. Mr. Chris Morrison and Mr. Lance Heath showed a slideshow presentation during the assembly explaining why the solar eclipse happens and how to view the eclipse without incurring any eye damage. This eclipse received mixed reviews from Mulvane High students, and KCAT News reporter Reagan Williams is now with us to capture the reactions. Reagan?
Hi, my name is Reagan Williams. Today is August 21st, 2017, and we are experiencing a very rare solar eclipse. Now let's go see what people are talking about. Hi, what's your name and grade you're in?
Grayson, I'm a senior.
What's your opinion on the eclipse?
It's pretty cool.
What's the difference between a solar and a lunar eclipse?
I don't know.
Bye.
See ya.
Hi, what's your name and what grade are you in?
Jake Lean, I'm a junior.
What's your opinion on the eclipse?
It's pretty cool. It's cool to see the moon overlap with the sun, I guess.
Have you ever seen anything this cool?
Nope, never anything.
Do you know anyone who's traveling to see the eclipse?
Nope.
Do you know anyone who has seen the eclipse before?
I think my grandpa did. My great-grandpa. Yep.
Thank you.
So this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Last time this happened was 99 years ago, so that was a year before my grandmother was born. So having the eclipse watch party was really cool. We took advantage of it. Mr. Heath and I, middle of July, started emailing each other and wanted to put this together and thought this would be a great opportunity for all the kids in the school. There are some school districts in Kansas and in the United States that canceled school because they were worried about kids getting hurt for some reason. So we're happy about it.
Sounds like the majority of the students enjoyed the solar eclipse. I'm Reagan Williams, KCAT News.
Thanks for that, Reagan. Hopefully most of the students enjoyed observing the partial eclipse, and sorry to those who were disappointed by the eclipse. Last Friday, Student Council hosted the annual back-to-school blacklight dance here in the Mulvane High Commons after the green and white scrimmage. Admission cost for the dance was $3, and students were offered light refreshments. The money raised will be used to fund other Student Council-sponsored events later in the year. This year's turnout was decent, with many students strutting their stuff and showing off their dance moves. Emily Barker attended the dance and is now with us to tell us how it went. Emily?
Hi, I'm Emily Barker, and I'm here at the Blacklight Dance. This year there was a twist, and students got to choose the music that they dance to.
For this dance, we tried something new. I had students suggest songs to me that they wanted to hear at the dance, and I sent that list over to Mrs. Woods, and she sent it to the DJ so that the students had more of a say of what was played at the dance, and we got to hear things that we actually liked.
Now let's go see how the students are enjoying the dance.
The bass is really cool, and everyone just seems so happy and energetic.
What's your favorite thing about the dance so far?
Dancing with my friends.
Did you come with anybody?
No. I'm single Pringle.
I came by myself and came to hang out with my friends and chill and have a good time after the scrimmage. I didn't bring anybody, I just brought myself.
That's all from the dance. Emily Barker, KCAT News.
Thank you, Emily. Those who want to suggest a song at future dances should contact Anna Merchant to add their request. For those who could not attend this dance, there will be a fall homecoming dance coming up soon and the Snowflake Soiree in December. Another Student Council news, the annual bonfire is tonight at 8 p.m. at the Carver Baseball Field behind the Munson Primary School. Admission will be free with several activities planned throughout the evening, with the fire being lit after the sun goes down. The event is eligible for MVC points. Currently, the freshmen are in the lead with 20 points, sophomores in second with 15, juniors in third with 10, and the seniors hold dead last with only 5 MVC points. Don't forget the class with the most MVC points at the end of the year will go to Worlds of Fun in Kansas City. Attention people of Mulvane, both young and old. Are you looking for a way to have some fun while also contributing to a good cause? Be sure to sign up for the first ever Kicking for Cans kickball tournament. On Saturday, September 30th, Mr. Morrison will be hosting the tournament at the Mulvane Sports Complex. This event is a fundraiser to raise money for the Junior Class Service Project. The Service Project is for students to bring in food and money for kids in need over the weekend.
So last couple of years we've ran out of food, and money that was donated to buy extra food has ran out. So this is to build up that supply so kids can have food to eat on the weekends.
Morrison's goal is to have at least 50 teams. Each team must consist of 4 boys and 4 girls, and the cost to join the tournament is $80 a team or $10 a person. The event is not limited to high school students. All people, young and old, may sign up.
There's 2 stages or 2 levels of play. So there is a high school and adult that can play in one side of the tournament, and then middle school and below, those kids can play each other in another tournament.
Registration packets can be picked up in room 302 or in the front office. Payment is required with your registration form to reserve your spot. Our fall sports teams have been hard at work these past couple of weeks during practice, with a couple of our teams heading to their first meets already. Gabe Daniel is here to give an in-depth analysis of the progress our sports teams have made. Gabe?
This week with Sports Nation, volleyball and golf have already competed in some tournaments and are doing quite well. Meanwhile, cross country, football, and soccer are preparing for their meets coming up shortly. This past Tuesday, the volleyball team traveled to McPherson to compete in a triangular meet against Wellington and the host team. Mulvane lost to both McPherson and Wellington. Last Saturday, the team competed in Winfield, where they won against Winfield and Chanute, but they lost to El Dorado, Trinity Academy, in a very close match to Bueller. After receiving these results, Coach Kohlmeyer is going to work with the athletes during practice, specifically paying attention to certain plays.
We just got done with the Winfield tournament. We went 2-3 on, and we had film from that tournament that we just got done watching the other day. It showed the girls, you know, both the positives and some mistakes that were made, you know, and we get back into practice and we work hard to fix those mistakes so that we can get better and improve throughout the year.
Volleyball will have their next meet at home against Clearwater and Wellington, and we'll have those results next week. After Coach Howe retired last year, Kyle Hedrick stepped up to be the new girls golf coach this year. Hedrick is looking forward to being the new coach.
I am really excited for this year. I think it's going to be an awesome year, and it's new, it's exciting, and I'm really looking forward to it.
The women's golf team competed in their first 9-hole tournament at the Derby Golf and Country Club this past Tuesday. Morgan Dial and Morgan Mitchell tied with a score of 48. After a playoff hole, Dial won, allowing her to take home the 10th place medal. Coming in not far behind was Cami Kim in 20th place at the score of 52. Mulvane took third place with a team score of 205. Hedrick said he is optimistic for the golf team this season, with his main focus during practice to be on improvement.
We set a good baseline today, determining where everyone's at, and from there we just want to keep on getting better and getting better.
This year's golf team, both JV and varsity combined, only have 7 people, but Hedrick is not worried about the low number of players affecting the team's performance.
We will have more opportunities for individual instruction when we're working at practice, but then also we're going to have to get creative with who goes to varsity, who goes to JV meets, since we only have 7, and you can take up to 6 to a meet. So we'll figure it out.
Football season is soon going to kick off, and Coach Finnewald has already set goals for this season.
We want to be in the playoffs. We've had a long, continuous streak of that, so we want to continue to make the playoffs. We want to win our district. We want to be undefeated at home this year. We only have 4 home games. I think that's very important that we win every one of those games, our home game. And then obviously, as every year, we want to beat Rose Hill.
This year's theme is Move the Mountains. In other words, prove the doubters wrong. After a very successful season in 2016 and the loss of last year's seniors, there has been speculation that this year's football team will not do well. However, Finnewald believes the Wildcats have just as much potential to succeed this season.
Our kids are just as athletic right now, I believe. We just are lacking that experience. So moving the mountains is nothing more than taking that doubt from people and moving that away and letting them know we can be a good football team this year.
Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., Mulvane takes on El Dorado at home for their first football game of the season.
Right now, the coaches have been doing a lot of film work and a lot of study of what El Dorado did to us last year offensively, defensively, and on special teams. We've also taken a look at what they've did this summer in their summer camps that they have gone to. So the coaches are starting to put the game plan together, and then we'll work that with our kids next week in practice.
This year's captains are Brett Nelson, Dalton Miller, Jarrett Plummer, and Jaden Price. And Finnewald has high expectations for those 4 players.
We just want them to be doing the right things, having great composure during practice and during games, and doing the things that these younger kids can look up to admire, to understand what it takes to be a good football player for Mulvane.
Cross country this year has several returning runners on the girls' side, including Erica Landis, Madison Jacobs, Caitlin Hayes, and Josie Russell. Coach Landis has high expectations for his returning girls.
Ultimately, our number one goal is to get to the state meet at the end of October. Our girls ran well last year, and we have everybody back except for one person who graduated. For our boys, our goal is to get stronger as the season goes along and, hopefully make a run at the league meet.
The boys' side is a little bit younger, with not as much experience, but Coach Landis is planning on working with them during practice, with his main goal being improvement.
Right now, we're just in our mileage building phase. We're trying to get our runners to be able to run 3, 4, 5 miles. There's a few runners that can handle that type of mileage, but a lot of our younger kids cannot yet. So right now, we're just working on building our mileage up.
The cross-country team has their first meet in Clearwater today. Unlike many other sports, Coach Landis is not placing a big emphasis on today's meet this early in the season.
The Clearwater meet is just, for us, another practice, but we're going to put the uniforms on. It's just an opportunity for some of our kids that have never run at a high school meet before to be able to run for the first time, and for our veterans to get back into the swing of things as far as meets are concerned. But we don't place a lot of emphasis on the Clearwater meet.
The men's soccer team has their first tournament next Tuesday in Arc City. Coach Myers is optimistic about this season and has been working with them closely to ensure they are ready for a successful season.
This very last week, right before we go into the tournament, we're spending a lot of time on goal kicks and corner kicks and throw-ins. So a lot of the soccer game is based off of those kind of starts back into play. And so we're trying to get to where we can win those.
Myers is not expecting an easy win, but with the players hard at practice, he believes they have a chance to win some of their games.
There's no games that I can consider like, oh, we're going to win that game. Let's start kind of preparing for another team. Each game we play, it's just got to be, all right, how good are we doing the stuff that we do? And that's what we got to focus on.
Good luck to all the athletes on their meets and games next week. Gabe Daniel, KCAT News.
Thanks for that, Gabe. Before I go, there are a few announcements I have to make. Audition packets for the fall musical, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, are now available in room 600. Those who are interested in auditioning for a role in this year's musical should pick up a packet and sign up for an audition time. Auditions will be held next Tuesday, September 5th. Seniors who have not done so need to have their parking stall painted by Monday, September 5th. Juniors are selling cookie dough, magazines, and tumblers. All orders are due by September 9th. If you have any questions, please contact Mr. Morrison at cmorrison@usd263.org. Last up, do not forget to bring your lightly used Mulvane hoodies, shirts, and shoes, and drop them off in Mr. Rapasolo's room, 513, to ship to Texas and Coach Kelvin Sampson to help flood victims in Houston. This ends KCAT News for this week. Thanks for watching. Reporting from KCAT Studio B, I'm Austin Fonenstiel, and have a good weekend. For the latest, most up-to-date news, don't forget to subscribe to our KCAT News YouTube channel and to follow us on Twitter @RealKCAT News.